Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rucha Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule well, and to the true army of Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, the hopeful elect, who want for your services. I wanted to go into the concept of how the real men of Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, are going to thrive in this time that the scriptures prophesy when society collapses and men are going to have to go into the wilderness, okay? This current society in these cities are suited unto women, okay, where everything has ease of access. Everything's easily accessible, from your fucking so-called supermarket, the grocery store, where everything's fucking spoon-fed into you in this society, right? You get your food from there. You have these restaurants. Now it's to the point where you have different services, delivery services that can bring shit right to your doorstep. Not only your meals from restaurants, but also your whole grocery motherfucking shopping cart. Everything on your grocery list can be brought to you. They have that, Instacart, and then other services, DoorDash, motherfucking Grubhub, it's Uber Eats, that other one, what is it called, Drizzly, get your libations delivered to your door, and everything else, right? Amazon, all these things where everything's spoon-fed to you in this fucking society, and it's the max of that in this time that we're in now. All right, this is suitable for these fucking women. What else do you have in this society? These cars, transportation, okay, buses, trains, different forms of transportation that transports you into these different locations. Okay, you have these different establishments where these people work, where they do very minimal physical labor, and they get their check to make their so-called living. All right, you have these homes, okay, where everything in these homes are surrounded with that ease of access shit, okay, where you don't have to really lift a finger. A motherfucking Roomba that vacuums your pad for you. Okay, you have the law enforcement at the click of a finger. But in the time when society collapses and men are gonna have to get it how they fucking live, men are gonna thrive in going into the wilderness. And this is expressed in the scriptures according to prophecy as well as in the times of old. Okay, men thrive in the wilderness. All right, and even more so, the men of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, the scriptures already go into how, even though it's going to come with heavy tribulation, of course, but the men of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai are going to be straight in that day. Okay, they shall have abundance. It goes into they shall eat, and the other shall be hungry. But regardless, a man is going to thrive in this time. All right? Get it how you fucking live type of times. Okay? Where you don't have you don't have your ADT motherfucking security system on call. It's the prospect of somebody trying to break into your dwelling, right? Or have the gun safe that you could run to and grab out your weapons. Okay, in a time when you're gonna have people preying upon each other. Okay, in a time when you're gonna have to slay your own game, your own animals to get your meat. Okay, or actually go and have to hunt and gather, and all this other shit that comes with being out there. Okay, gritty type deal that we're coming into. And the real soldiers of Yahweh Shem Shai are going to thrive in this time. Okay, and this is the time that we long for, that a real man longs for. Because this pussy ass society is a nuisance to a real man. Okay? That not only if we had our druthers, it would be, we wouldn't be dwelling in these cities. Okay? That we desire, and the scriptures tell us even to go towards the ancient, seek the old path, the ancient way. And that was even in the time when Gad and Reuben and the other tribes of the northern kingdom of Israel came over into Arsareth, which was North, Central, and South America before it was renamed by the so-called fucking white man, before it was conquered. They had that sense of autonomy, okay, which is a God-given right for a man to dwell and roam around in nature, okay, to build his home, to hunt and gather, establish his tribal lands, okay, to live off the resources of the land, okay. So this is the time that we long for, okay, and ultimately into the fucking the awesomeness, how fucking awesome it's gonna be in the kingdom, man. Are you kidding? All the prophetic scriptures, what they demonstrate, how the kingdom is gonna be. That's what we long for, okay? That what they call a utopia, which is like an imagined society. This is gonna be the real utopia. And then the chance to go into the other planets and galaxies, which are the wonders outside of this place that are beyond fucking imagination, okay? To go explore those in the chariots, worlds that have other things to offer than even Earth, okay? The wonders outside of this place. All right. But even before that, we desired to be freed from the constraints. It's like these are the prisons in these fuck ass cities, these pussy ass societies that we're bound to at this time, that the white man, Gad, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, Gad rather kill himself than have to do what they subjugated the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, subjugated our people into doing. All right, and a lot of them did. They fucking committed suicide rather than to put on a fucking monkey suit, which was all, the so-called white man's bitch ass attire, and be subjugated into these fucking metropolises, these cities. Okay, city living. But let's really quick jump into that. I pre-pulled this metropolis etymology. The Apostle Gabar goes into this. Metropolis means a mother city or a mother state. Okay, metro meaning mother, and polis is city, a mother city or a mother state. Okay. So these cities are more suited for the woman, and this is where she thrives, and this could be attributed to why the woman has compassed the man. Okay, because these cities are more suited for her. They even talked about this, whether he's a Jake or not, who it doesn't matter. This is relevant. Fucking Jordan Peterson. constantly goes into the fact that, the so-called school school system, these classrooms, and then it just transitions into these jobs, which is like a glorified kind of environment. That environment is very similar, these fucking jobs, to the school, the classroom, where the women thrive in it because a man is more, uh, he's more um, predisposed, or he's more prone and has a higher propensity to not being agreeable. Okay, not to just agree with and go with the motherfucking flow and just agree to every fucking thing. The characteristics associated with masculinity is to have aggression. Okay, which aggression is fucking is it's needed, it's necessary, and it's beneficial for a man. Okay, not to be a fucking pussy, a fucking pushover. These bitch ass niggas in this society. All right, but that's a perfect segue to show that these bitch ass niggas are going to crack and crumble in this time when it's going to be required to go into the wilderness. So let's get into these scriptures and the history. But what was written aforetime was written for our learning. It talks about how history repeats itself, and we take these accounts of old for examples, all right, as well as how times are reincarnated. Okay, we're going to go into Matthew 24 and Luke 21, this account when Israel was compassed with armies, okay, which this could be denoted as a form of Jacob's trouble. Okay, there was multiple Jacob's trouble. And the worst one that's coming is just the one that's coming in the end that's prophesied. And let's go into that. It's in Daniel for sure. Let's see. This is just going to be the worst one yet. Jeremiah 30. Yep, Salakia. In Jeremiah 30 and 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay, this is just the worst Jacob's trouble yet. This was, we're going to go into this count of 70 AD, right? That could be, that could be classified as Jacob's trouble. You had another one, which was what? The bubonic plague, the so-called black plague that murked off a lot of fucking Israelites. And then another one, the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, but the worst one is yet to come. It was in Matthew 24 and 16. It says, "Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes." Okay. Which is in Luke 21 and 20. "And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh." It's going back to 70 AD, but it could be applied to this time as well, when Jerusalem, which is a people before it's a place, is going to be compassed with armies. Okay. Revelation 12 and 12, the fucking devil coming down upon our people with great wrath. It's also referenced as a flood several times in these scriptures. It's going the overflowing scourge. See, overflow, it's referenced like into water, a flood. Okay. it's also here. Let's see, up a standard. Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. Okay, this is during the time of Jacob's trouble, when they come in like a flood. Okay, it's also referenced in here. Let's get into that. Let's see. Slovakia. Let me check this. Said it. Prepare this troop. Isaiah 65:11. It says, "But ye are they that forsake Yahweh, Ba'ashib Yahushai, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and furnish the drink offering unto that number." Okay, when the enemy comes into a flood, which is that troop, okay, and then let's hit that overflowing scourge. Jeremiah 20. Let's see. Jeremiah or Isaiah. Overflowing scourge. Isaiah 28:15. It says, "Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell we are at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood we have hid ourselves." But on the contrary, right, that when that flood comes down, okay, to overtake Jake, this is just going to be the worst one yet. Jerusalem being a people before it's a place. It says back in Luke 21:20, "And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh." Then, so this going into 70 AD, "Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto." Okay, so in this same wise, are men going to have to flee into the mountains, into the wilderness, into the hills, into the uninhabited parts, like into the undeveloped parts of the land, okay, out of these cities, out of these fucking metropolises, okay, and out of these developed areas, okay, for survival. And we're going to get that in the prophecy, okay. It says, "For these be the day of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled." Okay, so that is ultimate. This is the ultimate application to this time we're coming into. All right, let's go into this real quick. There's another example of this in First Maccabees, the 2nd chapter. Okay, I believe it's in 29. It says, and this was after the enemy came into the lands, pretty much the cities that we were dwelling in. Okay, let's provide some context. All right. Let's see, verse 7. It says, "He said, Woe is me, wherefore was I born to see the misery of my people and of the holy city to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers. Okay, so jumping down into verse 29. Okay, that actually 28. So he and his sons fled into the mountains, okay, and left all that they ever and left all that ever they had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there, both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because afflictions increased sore upon them. Man, this shows you right here, okay, that you're gonna have to fucking flee into the mountains and into the wilderness. In the time when these fucking cities are compassed with armies, okay, when the flood comes, and that's just obvious, man. Okay, they showed you that in motherfucking, a depiction of that in Red Dawn. The cities were overtaken when an invasion comes, when an invasion happens. That's the first place that gets taken is these fucking cities. Okay, you have to flee into the wilderness. Okay, and that's where a real fucking man thrives, man. Okay, this is the time we can't fucking wait for. We're so goddamn tired of these bitch ass, pussy ass society, these cities that we're fucking forced to have to abide in. Okay, let's get another example. In 2 Samuel 17. Okay, let's go to verse. Let's see. Verse. Salakia 21. No, Salakia. Let's see. Fuck. Let's see. 8. Alright. Khan in verse 8. Okay. This was the time when the mighty men, David and his mighty men, fled into the wilderness themselves. Okay. It says, for said Hushai, thou knowest thy father and his men, that they be mighty men, and they be chafed in their minds, as a bear robbed of her whelps in the field, and thy father is a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. Okay? And the elder Muatazak was going into this months ago about how our druthers would be to not have to dwell with these fucking people. Okay? Because the spirit hops on us more than half the time. Shit. Fucking, we'll put it this way, there's not many times when we don't have the spirit to want to snap one of you motherfuckers' necks. Okay? The people of this world, these wicked motherfuckers that we're relegated to having to deal with. Okay? Because there's just a weak fucking spirit on these people. Okay? On these men. Okay? Not to mention the wickedness is great. Among the people are just fucking devious. They don't deal in righteousness. Okay? They don't have any decorum. Alright? Just the basic manner of fucking, integrity and the way that, morality, that's out the fucking window. of all these people. All right, and it's just getting worse and worse. It says, and they even they wouldn't lodge with the people. They didn't want to lodge with the fucking people. Okay, because they were men of war. All right, and when you're in a certain spirit, it's hard to tolerate nonsense. Okay, these people of this world in this modern day, these men, a woman could be, um, I forgot what movie that went into. It's like, it's one of the lines in it said that, women can afford to be fickle and silly, stupid, but but a man, he can't afford to be playing games all the goddamn time, to be in that spirit of mirth and folly. See, but in this society, where folly is set in great dignity, this place is getting more severe in that form of after constantly cracking fucking jokes in a joking, laughing, playful spirit all the time. Very childish. Okay, we went into that whole concept about how the mental age of society, of the people in this society, is younger than it's ever been, and it just keeps getting lower. The average is like 14 or 16 years old. Between 14 and 16 is how old these people are mentally. Okay, what in their behaviors, and the way they conduct themselves. All right. So if we had our druthers, we wouldn't be lodging with these fucking people. We would be getting it how we live outside of this fucking society. Okay. And it's evident as well in where it tells you that they were chafed in their minds. Okay. They were fucking solemn. They were in a spirit of contemplation of war. Okay, through the spirit, why not? Let's go ahead and grab that, because we're gonna get something. We're gonna get a certain word in the 9th verse. They're chafed in their minds. They're severe. Okay, they were solemn. They were fucking pissed off too. Okay, because it was like they having the kingdom rent from them. They had fucking, um, David's son in rebellion against them, and many of the people that joined into that rebellion. Okay, and they had to be wicked if they sided with Absalom rather than the Most High's chosen David. But the Most High, he sanctioned all that. And this is also evident. It tells you a bear robbed of her whelps. It's just like, imagine a bear whose cubs were put to death. Okay, they're ready to fucking kill. This is the Hebrew word mar. Yeah, that's heavy, because when somebody gets marred, they get fucking destroyed. Okay, they get slashed up. It says to be bitter. Okay. Yep. Angry. There you go. Discontented. Heavy. All right. And that's the elect to the T, man. We have heavy spirits. It says in verse 9, behold, he is hid now in some pit or in some other place, and it will come to pass when some of them be overthrown at first, that whatsoever heareth it will say, there is slaughter among the people that follow Absalom. Okay, so here it is. He is hid now in some pit. So they fled, right, into the wilderness. And it tells you that he hid in some pit. And we're going to go into that in the Hebrew. To the Spirit, let me grab this again. Just for edification's sake, if it's only for our own learning. It says fierce, for to be chafed in the mind, right? Fierce, vehement, powerful, raging. Okay, and that's what we're likening it to, even though we have understanding. And like the scriptures say, we have to be long-suffering, be patient when thou art changed into a lower state. Are we not in the lowest estate imaginable now? Even as a man, having to be bound and subjugated unto all these conditions that have been aforementioned. Okay, as a man to have to be in the society where everything's fucking spoon-fed into you. All right, when if you demonstrate your masculinity, you're deemed as fucking toxic, and they'll shun you and fucking keep you at the bottom of fucking society. You'll lose opportunities, and to the point of they'll straight up lock you up. Okay, take away your fucking freedom. Which, let's be real, this isn't even real freedom. Okay, this is really fucking chains to be in this estate. So check it out. Wow, it's a sadness. And we went into that. To be sad means to be fucking, it really goes into being mad. It goes into being solemn. We broke that down. Okay. See, sad. Etymology. Weighty. Dense. Okay, see? Dense meaning of weight, density. Okay. Being serious. Alright? So let's go back into that. Because it said destructive. Fuck. Okay? Fucking destructive. Alright? Let's check this word as well. See, Great Millstone is a camp of scholars. Acrid means having an irritatingly strong or unpleasant taste or smell. Okay. Yeah, it is. This is like we have a fucking bad taste in our mouth because of this place. Alright? And because of these fucking people. Because it's not the place that's the problem. It's always the people. When we speak about this place, it's the fucking people. Alright? Let's get that word, in a pit. Now he be hid in some pit. Okay? It says a hole. And when you go into a hole, that's a word denoted for in war. That's a war verbiage. Okay? A hole. A foxhole. Okay? And I have that pre-pulled. A foxhole is a small hole dug in the ground during a war or military attack, used by a small group of soldiers as a base for shooting at the enemy and as a shelter from attack. Okay, for your ancient days shooting, it was, your arrows, but then arrows and spears, those are your ancient style projectiles, but also it's just a hole. It's just essentially, for military usage, it's just a hole dug into the ground. Okay. So this is showing you that the real soldiers, and for survival, how you have to flee into the wilderness, just as David and his mighty men did. Okay, and he was in some pit, in a hole, in a straight up foxhole. It's like the trenches. They depicted that in Western on the All Quiet on the Western Front. Those trenches, and they straight up slept in those shits. Okay, they built the fucking trenches, which was like a strip of foxhole, you know, and down even deeper into the trenches was like, a dwelling place that they built within those trenches. Okay, so that's they we really, Jake says we in the motherfucking trenches when men are really gonna have to be in in the trenches out in the wilderness, man. Okay, this is a military term. See, the real soldiers of Yahweh Shai are gonna thrive in that day. All right, real soldiers is in Second Timothy, and this is gonna expound the point heavy. Second Timothy 2 and 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach. And it's heavy because the elders at the Chicago camp, Uriah and Aki, or Yaki, Salaki, if that's not the way you pronounce it. Those these two brothers from the Chicago branch of the Chicago camp were going into this about in the fourth verse how it says, "No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life." They're bringing it out how the affairs of this life goes into civilian life. Okay, we're not fucking civilians. The real men of Yahweh Shem Shai are likened it to soldiers, warriors. Okay, and that word wareth goes into active military duty. Okay, military campaign. But Salakia, in this third verse, thou endure hardness. He's going to expound the point of fleeing into the wilderness, being in the motherfucking trenches, man. Okay, being out in these undeveloped areas, in the field. It gets real in the field. All right, let's check this out in the Greek, Second Timothy 2 and 3. That word soldier, okay, statuo. Let's see, stratiotes.
Strong's G 4757.
Oh, and then it just spazzes out, huh?
Strong's G 4757. Stratiotes.
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 Okay. Psalms 47:57, and it says, "A camper out." All right, there you go. There you go. You can't make this up. This is in the Strong's definition, a camper out. Okay? So one that literally camps out. All right? I.e. a warrior. And a lot of times, soldiers, that's exactly what they fucking do when you go on a military campaign. Okay? When you're deployed. Okay? Especially the ancient day form of that. Let's see, let's check it out. There it is. It says the word stratuo, right? Stratuo for that word wareth. See, it's similar to stratuotes that we just read of in soldier in the Greek. Okay, it says to make a military expedition to lead soldiers to war or to battle, and to do that, you had to fucking camp out. Okay, literally, you take your gear, you have your gear pack, and you go out into the motherfucking wilderness, especially in the times of old. Okay, so let's get into that expedition, because it's going to expound that point of the soldier is a camper out, and that's what the fuck we're going to have to do for a time, before that, before the Air Forces come to make that extraction. Lord willing, we be a part of the number, but guess what? This is a guarantee of what's going to happen with the elect. Okay, they're going to be extracted. It's going to be from the Air Force, which is the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They're going to be called up into the clouds. Okay, let's go into it. An expedition definition. Here it is. An expedition is a journey or voyage undertaken by a group of people with a particular purpose. Okay, so it's a voyage. We're going to have to go on that fucking voyage, man. Out of these fucking cities. It says, especially that of exploration, scientific research, or war. And isn't that going to be the ultimate time of war? Okay. So we're going to really have to camp out. Literally in that time. Okay. And this is going to drive it right on fucking home. Finish off this in the prophetic scriptures that tell us about this. This is in second Esdras. The point is in 16. The point is in 40. But we're going to go into start in 28, and then we're going to jump down 28, read a little bit, and then jump down to 40. It says, for of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so, in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. Okay? And where are the houses at? They're in the fucking city. So it's going to be incumbent of them that survive to leave up out of the fucking city. Because the houses are going to be getting ran up into with the sword, with killing instruments in all their forms. Because you only have so many bullets. And if anything, to go out from a gun is more humane than ancient style sword, an actual bladed weapon. Okay? It says, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. Okay? And we're going to jump down. Actually, we're going to jump back up. And what is that going to make this? In verse 26, the grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? And the point is in the second stanza, for all places shall be desolate of men. Okay, so these cities are going to be desolate of men because they're going to be the first ones put to death when these cities are fucking invaded. That's why it said when they're compassed with armies. That's why you're going to have them that survive are going to have to flee into the hills. Because you're either going to get put to death or fucking captured, which is worse. Right? It brought that out in that fucking... because it had elements of nonfiction in these different movies, right? Fucking Walking Dead. That's one of the first things they had to do, right? Go into the wilderness was another one. The Last of Us, and they brought that out in that series that there's a lot worse things that could happen to you than getting put to death. Okay, getting captured. The road, they brought that out. Okay, that if you get captured, you know, you have a cannibal that nibbles on you little by little, that just straight up tortures you, that uses you for warm holes, if you know what I mean. Okay, to get their, well, there you go. I mean, that's all you need to think about. Uses you for warm holes. You know, that's why it's going to be so fucking bad to be a woman in that day without protection. Okay. Many worse things than getting put to death. All right. It says in verse 40, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Okay? You're going to have to be as pilgrims. All right? Going from place to place in the wilderness, not staying in one place for too long. Okay? You're going to have to leave these fucking cities behind. Okay? And you might have to pass through a city, you know, when shit dies down to get to another, you know, area, right? Or whatever it may be. Because later down in the chapter, I believe it's in the 75th verse, it talks about how Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to be your guide. Okay, yep. And we did a whole extensive breakdown on that. The Most High is going to superintend, meaning he's going to intend, meaning over, super going into over and above. He's going to go above and over your intentions. Superintend what he's going to go above what you intend to do. What you think you intend to do, he's going to guide you. Okay? So, you're going to have to be a fucking pilgrim, or you're going to have to be a soldier in the form of that Strong's definition, a camper out. Okay? You're going to have to flee up out of these fucking cities, man. And this is the time that we long for, that the true men of Yahweh Shebel Shai, that's when they're going to thrive. Okay? So with that, all praise and honor and glory to the Yahweh Shebel Shai, Ba'ashem Rechak Kadash. Shalom.